This is the third generation of Audi's evergreen sports car, the TT. When it was originally launched in the late 90s, it was new and fresh on the roads, but quickly became a favourite all over the world. It was an easy choice for people who wanted a solid, reliable, premium sports car. No doubt this third generation is going to be a huge hit, but to understand why, you need to know where the TT came from. This is an original Audi TT. Conceptualised in 1994, it came out in 1998 as a coupe and 1999 as a roadster. Its name comes from the Isle of Man TT, or Tourist Trophy motorcycle race, something Audi's forebears, NSU, used to compete in, and name its cars after as well. In all though, it's a happy looking little thing. The TT came with a 1.8 litre engine which could have up to 225 horsepower. You could also get a 3.2 litre V6 with 247 brake horsepower. Now, you could have it with front wheel drive or quattro four-wheel drive, and later in its life you could have one of these, a limited edition lightweight quattro sport with a 1.8 litre turbocharged 237 brake horsepower engine. All in all, it was a very good little motor, but the Mach 1 TT wasn't without its problems. We should probably start with the big one, its body. You see, when the TT was launched, its oil blob in water shape was very, very aesthetically pleasing. However, it wasn't great at high-speed manoeuvring. The story goes that when you were going at some pace in a TT and decided to, say, turn, the body was so slippery it would spin and flip and all kinds of nasty things would happen. So, as a result of that, pretty much every TT was recalled to have a spoiler added, its suspension tweaked and ESP put on as well. There's also the fact that because it was based on a Golf, many people dismissed its drive and just called it a Golf in drag. It's safe to say the Mach 1 TT was an enormous success. You still see them around today, either utterly pristine like this car or with a set of comprehensively knackered alloys. Either way, it's safe to say it's aged pretty well. What this car managed to do was prove that Audi wasn't a company that just made premium German saloons for premium German families, but also that it could create desirable, aspirational sports cars. In 2006 though, Audi called time on the Mach 1 and a new TT appeared. This time it was lighter, faster, slightly cleaner to look at and more Audi-ish. In the UK there were two engines to pick from at launch, a 197 brake horsepower 2 litre TFSI or a 3.2 litre V6 with 247 brake horsepower. The buzz at the time was that the 2 litre car was actually better than the more powerful range topper. Over its life, the Mach 2 TT evolved. The base model got more power, an S model was launched, and in 2008, Audi put a 2 litre diesel engine under the bonnet, which meant you could have your sleek coupe, but not have to pay all that much money to get it places. However, the idea of it is a little bit strange, because you get one person rocking up saying, yeah, look at my TT, aren't I young, funky and lifestyle, and then they turn it on and it sounds like a taxi. Anyway, 5 years ago, Audi launched an RS model at the Geneva Motor Show. The TT RS came with an Audi heritage-pleasing 2.5 litre 5-cylinder turbocharged engine that produced a not inconsiderable 335 brake horsepower. It was really rather quick, but not as quick as this one. This is the TT RS Plus. It comes with largely the same engine, but 355 brake horsepower. 0 to 62 happens in 4.3 seconds, and its top speed, because it's a Plus, isn't the standard RS's 155 miles an hour. No, its electronic limiter has been lifted to 174 miles an hour. It's very, very quick indeed. And of course, being an RS, it's got all the RS badges everywhere and bits of carbon fibre and big vents and grills and all that kind of thing. But if you strip all that back, you still get the same instantly recognisable TT silhouette. A silhouette that harks back to a car that made such headway in the late 90s. Now though, the Mach 2 TT's song is ending, so let's have a look at the new one. As is usual with these things, the new TT is lighter and more powerful than the car it replaces. The base model is 50 kilos lighter than the old car thanks to Audi's extensive use of aluminium in its construction. 3 engines are going to launch in the UK, a 2-litre turbocharged petrol with 227 brake horsepower, a 2-litre diesel with 181 brake horsepower, or this, the TTS, a 2-litre petrol with 306 brake horsepower. 0 to 62 will happen in just 4.7 seconds, and it'll go on obviously to a limited top speed of 155 miles an hour. Now purists will be happy to hear that manual gearboxes come standard on these cars, but if you want the car to do the work for you, 6-speed dual clutches are an option. If those engines aren't really up your alley, then you're in luck, because Audi has announced a new Quattro Sport concept. It's basically a TT as though it was built for the track, and it's got around and about 420 brake horsepower. It's based on a modified version of the Volkswagen Group's MQB platform, the same platform that the VW Golf and the Audi A3 are based on. It's also marginally smaller than the old car. Looks-wise, the Mark III is very much identifiable as a TT. It has the same proportions, the same flared wheel arches, and that same silhouette that made such an impression all those years ago. This thing's going to sell by the bucket load.